I genuinely don't understand why not every business owner is posting on YouTube in 2026. Over the past few years, short-form content has truthfully been one of the biggest business opportunities in recent history. And everyone, me included, could sell really any digital product or course as long as you could generate enough traffic with your content. But this isn't the case anymore. People are now tired of easy to produce content with the only goal in mind of getting you to buy from them. And it's gotten so bad that people like me who've done millions of views and thousands of dollars with short-form content are now switching over to YouTube. But if I know one thing for sure, it's that it's probably been the best business decision I've ever made. So in this video, I'm going to break down all the different benefits I noticed that make YouTube the best platform to grow business in 2026. Okay, the first and probably the biggest benefit of YouTube content I noticed is that it's by far the best at converting views into clients. Short-form content simply isn't enough anymore to build that trust required for people to buy from you. Trust in the online space has never been this low. AI content is flooding the market, people are all flexing as hard as they can with rented costs just to build credibility, and the barrier to entry is so low that you have all these fake experts all over Instagram trying to sell you something. And I even noticed this a few years ago when it wasn't as bad as it is now. Back then I was selling digital products, mostly presets and assets for other video editors. I was getting millions of views and tens of thousands of followers with my Instagram account, but something very interesting happened. When I posted my first ever video here on YouTube, I literally got 10 times more sales from that one video than when I was posting sales stories or even pure sales reels on Instagram. And there's actual data backing this up. Google conducted a study that revealed that it takes around 7 hours of brand interaction before people eventually buy from that brand. Now this doesn't mean that it will always take 7 hours of content for someone to buy from you, but the point is, the more time someone spends with you, the more they trust you and the more likely they are to buy from you. And if you think about it, it makes perfectly sense, right? Now what's funny is that if you look at all the biggest creators, the ones doing millions with their content, they're all focusing their attention heavily on YouTube. Not many of those top players are purely on Instagram anymore. For example, I remember a few years ago, Tom Noski was this huge authority in the Instagram personal brand niche. He made millions of dollars off of his short-form content alone, but now his main content is actually YouTube. And he only uses Instagram to lead people to his YouTube channel where they then can be nurtured and become actual clients. So the funnel he uses now, which pretty much all the big creators are using, uses Instagram to gather attention, lead them to YouTube to nurture them and build trust through valuable content, and from there push them to their landing page or VSL. Now I go as far as saying that YouTube could be the only platform you could post on. But the point is that you need to lead your attention to your long form content to build that necessary trust to convert them. Okay, so the second big benefit of YouTube is that it massively increases your credibility, which makes your ads and all of your other content perform way better. I don't personally run ads, but here's what I noticed. A few months ago, when I started posting videos here on YouTube again and was still posting consistently on Instagram, I got significantly more people reaching out to me. And I'm not talking just random people who saw my videos, like serious business owners doing multiple 5 figures a month. And I have friends who run ads for their businesses and they're telling me the exact same thing. As soon as they posted a few YouTube videos, the ads quite magically converted way better. Here's why this works. When people see your ads or your short-form content, they instantly think, okay, who is this guy and is he legit? So when you have a link to your YouTube with long-form videos in your bio, they instantly get a feeling for who you are and how you think. They also instantly get way more value from you because instead of having to scroll through hundreds of random reels, they have structured videos with titles, so they can pick the topic most relevant to them and deep dive into your expertise on that area. And having a library of good valuable videos also means you can use them when chatting with potential clients. You can say something like, by the way, I've made a video breaking this down, just wanted to send it to you, might really help you out. I actually recently experienced this firsthand. I was chatting with someone I've worked with in the past, and when I mentioned a specific problem I was struggling with at that time, he sent me the link to one of his YouTube videos where he addressed that exact issue. And so I watched the entire video, learned some general valuable insights that I hadn't really considered, and as a result it completely elevated my perspective of his expertise and credibility. Now the title of this video is why the fuck isn't every business owner posting on YouTube in 2026? But the more I think about it, the more it actually makes sense to me why they don't. YouTube feels overwhelming. They already stretched thin running their businesses and now they're supposed to figure out content creation, how to write scripts, hire an editor or even edit themselves, create eye-catching thumbnails. And so most infopreneurs take the easy route and think, I'll just stick to Instagram. And that's exactly why I recently started helping infopreneurs build out their YouTube channel. I take care of the strategy, the ideas, the scripts, the editing, the thumbnails and much more, so they can actually focus on growing their businesses and not get lost in content creation. So if that's something you would be interested in, you can schedule a call at the end of this video to see if I can actually help you out. Okay, so the third benefit of YouTube is that the content you put out here is gonna serve you for months, if not years after you post it. On short form platforms, content usually gets the majority of its views within the first few days. After that, the video essentially dies. So in order to keep your weekly views the same, you have to post really consistently. But on YouTube, views continue growing weeks after you posted them, meaning every video that you post adds on top of your weekly views, making your channel views grow exponentially. And so even old videos continue bringing you in new clients all the time. This also means that you don't necessarily have to post really consistently to use YouTube as your middle of funnel nurturing tool. Now, I recommend you post on YouTube consistently, and by that I don't mean every few days, but every week or every 2 weeks like I'm doing. But if for some reason you still don't want to commit to regular posting on YouTube and want to focus on short form, you could just create a few very strategic YouTube videos that work for you long term. So here's exactly what I would do. I would create 3 cornerstone videos. First, I'd make one long comprehensive course style video about the biggest problem my ideal client faces. For example, as a fitness coach, I do something like here's how to actually lose weight and gain muscle full guide, and I'd aim to that 30 to 45 minute range. Second, I create an origin story video explaining how I discovered my framework and why I'm passionate about helping other people. And third, I make the client interview or case study, showing my methods in action with real results. These 3 videos pretty much cover what someone needs to be nurtured. You show you know what you're talking about in your course style video, you build connection with your story video, and you show proof with the client interview. So if you put a link to your YouTube channel with these 3 videos on it, you can use it to nurture people for months, if not years. And then if you want to create another video from time to time, I create educational style videos that show how you think about your niche and your unique perspectives. But as I said, I recommend you focus on YouTube for all the benefits we talk about in this video, and especially for the next benefit because it can feed your content output across every single platform. The fourth benefit of YouTube is that you can repurpose it into short form videos. Now this also ties perfectly back to that Instagram YouTube funnel I talked about earlier. If you focus your time on creating great long form pieces of content, you can also get all of your short form content out by clipping it up. And by the way, some of the biggest creators are using this exact strategy. Iman, for example, has a team of in-house editors, and all they're doing is clipping up his long form content to post them on over 50 different accounts. And I even did the same thing for another client of mine a while back. He dedicated all of his time to record YouTube videos, and I clipped it up into videos that we could post on Instagram and TikTok. Now if you want to repurpose your YouTube footage, I'd make sure to record in 4K with a slightly larger frame. This allows you to crop both horizontally and vertically without losing quality. For the actual videos themselves, there are 2 styles I would go for. If you naturally have a good hook, you can just edit them like normal talking head videos. But if not, you can take the moments where you explain something valuable, put them horizontally with the text above, and that will serve to give context and as the actual hook. So especially if your goal is to build a large brand, if you just focus on YouTube, you can also have a ton of material to post on short form content. But speaking of building a brand, this leads me directly into the last big benefit I noticed YouTube has. And that is that it's the most powerful platform to build a strong, long-term personal brand. You know, recently I was chatting with a potential client and I asked him what his goal with his content is. And he said something that really stuck me. His main goal with his YouTube channel is long-term personal brand building. Now he's someone who gets millions of views every month and they have over 900k followers on IG. So I proposed them a content strategy that would allow them to build a long-term personal brand and scale their offer in the meantime. But I realized he was absolutely right. YouTube is the perfect platform to build a proper personal brand that will actually last. Something very interesting I noticed is that people who have a big YouTube channel almost always have a lot of IG followers as well, without even posting much. But the other way around, it's almost never the case. And another thing I realized is that personal brands who really stood the test of time are all built on YouTube and not on Instagram or TikTok. Because YouTube allows people to spend much more time with you, which creates a much deeper connection than any other platform. When someone watches 30 minutes of your content, it creates a feeling that they almost know you because they spend actual time with you. Psychology calls this a power social relationship, and over time it creates a really solid foundation. People actually remember you, and if your content was valuable and actually helped them, they become lifelong advocates of your brand. Alright, let's quickly recap why I think every business owner should be on YouTube in 2026. First, long-form videos are the best at converting people because it creates much more trust than any other content. Second, YouTube makes you seem way more credible, which makes your ads and all of your other content perform way better. Third, your videos are evergreen and continue working for you for years instead of just dying after a few days. Fourth, you can repurpose your YouTube content to feed all your content output across all the other platforms. And fifth, it's the most powerful way to create a strong personal brand that stands the test of time. Now, you could go out there and try to figure out all of this yourself. You could spend months trying to learn strategy, ideation, scripting, editing, thumbnails, and try to implement all of the pieces that go into a successful YouTube channel. And don't get me wrong, eventually you most likely get great results. But if you're looking to really take YouTube seriously and build your channel on the right foundations, then you can book a call directly with me with the first link in the description. So I speak to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.